Good evening to all of you. Good evening, good morning. Buenos dias, buenas noches. My name is Jamel Tony. Welcome to Progressively Becoming.
You know it's buenos. Hey everyone, thank you guys for joining Progressively Becoming. We are on and popping. As you're getting on, make sure you like, comment, and share. And let somebody know PB is on now. We are in the building. And every Tuesday, right here, 7 p.m. sharp.
And she said that with her gold dust lips. For those of you that don't, I forgot Gold Dust has made a return.
Yeah, she's gonna come every now and then, you know.
Well, it's actually he.
Well, I'm not a he, so
okay.
I'm representing.
Well, that's good. That's great to know.
Gold Dust, Gold Dust look, but Gold Dust for this broadcast is a shit.
Nevertheless, fam, welcome all of you. To those of you that are watching us, rather will be listening to us on our podcast. Welcome to listening to us on our podcast. If you have not subscribed to our podcast outlets, like we say every single week, go ahead, download any major podcast outlet, tune in, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Go ahead and look for Progressively Becoming. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. You will be notified of every time that we go live. Welcome to those watching us on the Place of Exchange. Welcome to you watching us on our website, www.progressivelybecoming.com, and YouTube family as well. Wherever you're watching, however you're watching us, it is an amazing evening to have with you. Tonight is going to be special. We are excited. It's going to be an amazing conversation.
Absolutely. We mentioned Gold Dust a lot. I wonder, is he out there somewhere? So he, giving him some props.
Well, Goldust, if you are out there, send us an email, progressivelybecoming@gmail.com. We have some sponsors. We want more. And you have the finances to do so. So go ahead, call us. But yes. Yeah, today's going to be an amazing, an amazing conversation.
Thursday, 6 a.m. Make sure that you join us this week for morning devotion, where we pray with you, we pray for you. We do believe in the power of prayer, y'all. Y'all know how we do. We know that prayer changes things. God hears us when we pray. Absolutely. This week coming, we will be having a special guest on for us for morning devotion. Elder Olivia Cunningham will be joining us from Olivia Cunningham Ministries. So make sure that you tell someone, tag someone, bring someone, and make sure that you are there 6 a.m. for morning devotion.
Yeah, for those of you that have prayer requests, go ahead and you can send us the prayer requests as well. Go to the website as well. You can send us your prayer requests. We will call out those names and we will be praying with you and for you as well.
How you do slow down?
Slowing down.
You trying to talk like me because I talk fast and you really don't. So now you're trying to be like me today.
Nobody trying to be like you. I'm trying to be like Jesus.
Trying to be like Mike.
Trying to be like Jesus.
Also, dropping this Friday will be another episode of 15 at 6. We do a monthly encouragement session only on our podcast. So make sure if you haven't downloaded, make sure you download on all of the podcast outlets because we on all of them. We will have in 15 at 6 this coming Friday. We will be continuing the discussion about coping with loss. So if you missed last month, go back and take a listen to that. But we're going to pick up with that and just touching on other areas of dealing with and coping with loss.
Absolutely.
So make sure you tune in.
And again,
that.
only on our podcast outlets. So yeah, go ahead and do that. Sunday Exchange, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is the ministry that God has called my wife and I to launch. We are excited about what God is doing at TPOE. And those of you that have committed yourself to us, welcome. We are excited about what God is doing. Join us online as well. On all of our ways you can watch us. 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Place of Exchange Worship Center. Our mission, our goal is to connect people with the love of Jesus Christ and to remind them, no matter where you are, there can always be an exchange in your life.
In your life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Discipleship University.
Yes.
It's happening. It's live. Thank God for all of the registrations. If you want to register, it's still open. Go to the website, register for Discipleship U. Jesus is clear when he said, go make disciples, because as we have been saying, if you aren't making disciples, what are you really doing? Right? Go make disciples. So those of you that joined us last Thursday, it's happening again next week. Every 2 weeks, go to our website for all of the information as well. I am completely excited about that.
Yes, you are.
It's a lot of announcements.
It is, because we
just say, just go to the website going forward. All right, what we got?
So this month has been a month of discussing Heart Month.
Yeah.
So we've discussed the physical heart and how to maintain a healthy heart. We discussed the responsibility of the heart and also recognizing the attacks that come up against your heart and knowing how to understand, how to take care of, and also how to guard your heart.
Yeah.
So that was a good conversation. That happened 2 weeks ago, which was February 7th, because last week we took a break.
Valentine's Day. We came on for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, we came on for about 10 minutes. But so if you missed that conversation, please go back, take a look, take a listen. However you enjoy us, please go, because it was a great conversation. So we're going to just pick that up this week.
Yeah.
And we're going to continue in Heart Month. Yeah. And there are many metaphors and typologies of the heart. We have the physical heart. It's the muscle at the center of your circular system, which pumps blood around your body as your heart beats. The blood sends oxygen and nutrients to all parts of your body and carries away unwanted carbon dioxide and waste products.
Keeps you alive.
Pretty much. We also have like your emotional heart, and that's a strong connection between your emotions and your heart. Mm-hmm. For instance, love, anger, sadness, depression, loneliness, hostility, and all of that can affect the function and the rhythms of your heart. The heart and the mind are intimately connected.
They are connected.
And then we have the spiritual heart.
And that's what we're talking about today. Why is the spiritual heart so important to know? It is the epicenter. It is the core. It is the epicenter of our behaviors, our emotions, etc., etc. It's often been said, what you don't know can't hurt you. We totally disagree with that. What you don't know will hurt you. Mm-hmm. What you don't know, you will abuse. And we just really discovered by observation and even by personal experience that our spiritual heart is sadly missed. It's neglected. We don't nearly address our heart, our spiritual heart, the way it should. We disregard it. We think it has no function and no relativity as it relates to living. But we want to debunk that today. And we're going to talk about the spiritual heart. There is no better person.
No better.
Than I think that can discuss with us in great detail the spiritual heart than our guest tonight. He is no novice. He is not an amateur. He is the senior pastor of the Favor of God International Worship Center. He is the presiding bishop of Deliverance Fellowship of Churches Worldwide. He is the pastors of Jamel and Lakeisha. We are so excited that he is with us. It is without further ado, I want you to get ready. I don't know what's about to happen, but I want you to get ready. Listen, fan, make some noise wherever you are for Bishop Willie Jones Jr. Good evening, sir.
Hey, Bishop.
Good evening. I think I got myself together now, Mel. Good evening. He worked the miracle out.
Uh-oh. Wait.
I'm here now. I'm here.
Okay, here we go.
Listen.
All right.
Listen. To pray that I am as savvy as Pastor Tony is. I'm getting there. Growth is happening. The Lord be praised. So I am excited to be a part of this. First of all, and I thank God for y'all thinking enough for me to invite me on. I am Willie Jones Jr. and I today that challenged my heart. I would go public with because it's a little risque, but I will not be bound. Amen. Amen. And there's some. If you see some photos floating, I need you to know that it's a conspiracy between Pastor Tony and Regina Jones. A CON spirit. But I am happy to be here. The heart. So Pastor Tony, I'm a firm believer. We don't know the value and the importance of not even just, but our spiritual heart.
That's good. Absolutely.
Just heart is to life itself. So is ours to life itself. And one of the things that our heart is guarding your heart, protecting your heart. In London, you see the guards and they stand on guard. I forgot the particular place, but they stand on guard every day, all day, to make sure they control what goes in and what goes out. We have to have a mental guard, because whatever you let go in your heart, but whatever goes into your heart will flow directly to your life.
So Bishop, let me ask you this: whatever goes into your heart will flow out of your life. What is the heart?
Okay.
What is the spiritual heart for those of us that may not be in church or may not even accept the Christian religion as their belief, right? What is the spiritual heart?
Okay, the spiritual heart. When you think about the spiritual heart, even when you look in scripture, oftentimes when the heart is mentioned so many times, Old Testament, New Testament, when it talks about the heart, that's some of the things that scripture says about heart. It says, out of the abundance of the heart, guard your heart, for out of it flows the issues of life. So the natural blood pump.
Yes, sir.
It's the heart is a muscle, right? It's a muscle. So how can a muscle speak? A muscle gets information from your brain.
Mm-hmm.
So when he's talking to Christians, when he's talking to us, he's talking about the mind, the will, right?
Yes.
So again, it doesn't matter what you do with it. One of the most important principles that we got to understand, Solomon, the wise, asked for wisdom. He asked for wisdom. And one thing he says in Proverbs 4:23, above everything else, guard your heart.
Yeah.
For it determines the course. So if out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, yes, then that means he's not talking about the blood pump. He's talking about the seat of my imagination. What I allow in my mind. It controls my life.
So, with that being said, there's a scripture, Jeremiah 17:9, and we quote it so many times, and it says, "The heart is deceitful above all things," and the NIV says, "beyond cure." Some may say in the King James Version, "wicked." NIV says, "beyond cure." Who can understand it? So if the heart is the mind, it is deceit. Is it deceitful? Is it beyond cure?
What makes it beyond cure is simply this: in its original state, uncurable. That word "wicked" is the Hebrew word for incurable. That word is the Hebrew word for not being able to be trusted. Watch this. It actually becomes a word which means bumpy terrain. When I start allowing my heart, the unregenerated, the untransformed heart, in its original state, driving, my life will be filled with bumps. because it has an inclination. It has an inclination to always be treacherous. Because remember now, it took this posture because of disobedience.
Okay.
Listen, the minute disobedience stepped into the garden, so now what happens is intent, which came from our brother Adam, to follow the instructions. Put up because I was born, I was shaped in iniquity. So my heart was all wicked. Because I lost the ability for it to be from the garden perspective. It happened in the garden.
So it's you said unregenerated. What is that?
That means that my heart, my mind is bent. Okay. When I don't have a relationship with Christ, bent. Watch this. I think it was Isaiah said, "and bruised for our iniquities." That word iniquity means bent towards sin. Without Christ and regenerating my mind, I'm gonna always choose the wrong thing. I'm bent towards it. It's like we're crippled towards sin. The pull that causes my life to go towards sin. So that heart is the inclination, the disposition, the reasoning. I don't have without Christ, I only have one reason. I can only reason one way.
Yes.
I only one way. My disposition can only go one direction.
Got it. So everyone has a spiritual heart. The question is, has it been regenerated? Has it been turned over to Christ?
Correct.
Right? Okay. Everyone has a leaning. Everyone has a bend towards sin, towards a certain disposition, towards an inclination. It's been, and we just got to go there, right? Because again, we literally push the envelope, right? We go to the edge and we just fall over, right? So
I'm the postman. Let's go.
We go on this. So it's often been said when that we are born certain ways. I'm born towards a certain sexual disposition, towards the love of a sex, towards a certain sexual orientation, perhaps, right? Is that accurate? Or individuals that are individuals born, or they leaned towards from birth a certain inclination, a certain sin,
or is it developed?
Or is it developed?
Watch this. I oftentimes believe. Well, no, I notice where the mind goes, the man follows. Now, here's the thing. We got to understand the most important property that. Now we understand that our heart is our mind. The 6 inches between our ears is the property that we have. So now what happens is, because it's bent towards sin, it sees whatever it feels, whatever it has the ability to lean towards that, because the only thing that could us is the knowledge of Christ. He died so that he could get this crook out my back, leaning towards things that are not like him. So watch this. So now let's use, just for example, let's use one of the things that we know for certain that happens when people are bent toward certain. I'm trying to say this. When they are bent towards certain things that we consider by Scripture that are not God, what happens is we have to understand for God was He created us to be man and woman. Because we got to understand that first initial encounter with someone in an intimate state is supposed to be man woman. So now that first intimate connect supposed to be covenant.
Got it.
That means you fly. No covenant. See, I can really because watch this. See, I can covenant, man, rather. We become intimate. I can't hear you. You talking? Can you hear me, man?
Yeah, so I think there's some connectivity issues.
So you want me to go back to my phone?
Yeah, go back to, because I want people to hear what you're saying.
Okay, gotcha. I'll go back to my phone.
Okay, sir. All right. We want people to hear what Bishop Jones is saying, because I believe it's so impactful.
We here. Let's go. Okay. So what I was saying was, and forgive me, y'all. I'm in New Orleans, so please forgive me. I'm in New Orleans.
You sound good now, Bishop.
Okay. So because the original intimacy that we're supposed to experience is between man and woman, covenant. That means that the first person that I'm supposed to be intimate with is the only person I'm supposed to be intimate with. Now, since we're on progressively becoming, I can go ahead and progressively become. Watch this. So watch what happens. Okay, so now what happens is I'm supposed to wait until I meet Regina. If Regina waits for me, she has a thin layer of tissue in her that is called the hymen. I'm the only person that's really supposed to break it.
Okay. Yes, sir.
So when I break the hymen, blood is shed.
Right.
Covenant is created. So that initial intimacy is covenant. But hymen is where we get the word him.
Yes, sir.
So let me just help the married couple out. And listen. We don't wham bam thank you, man. We worship.
We don't win there, we worship.
I
wish somebody put that in the chat.
I'll put that in the chat.
Somebody say we worship. We worship. So now what happens is, because my mind is already bent.
Yes, correct.
Now something I'm supposed to experience that's supposed to be worship, the wrong person comes, violates me, and now I find myself in idolatry.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember where the makeup comes from now.
Mm-hmm.
Intimacy comes from God's original intent. When he told Moses, he said, I need a place to dwell among men because I can't walk on these guys because the place is too dirty. Moses, build me a place that I can come tabernacle with my people. Yes. Moses builds the Ark of the Covenant. You have the outer court, the inner court, and the Holies of Holies. Yes. Now, the Holies of Holies was separated by a thick veil. And the only person that could go in was the high priest.
Yes.
See, I'm supposed to be Regina's high priest.
Yes.
You're supposed to be Keisha's high priest.
Yes.
No other person could go in. So that veil was symbolic of the hymen.
Yes.
The high priest would go in and make atonement once a year for the sins of people. But because God knew that we would be messed up sometimes, they would tie a bell onto the priest in case he get before the presence of God and he died, and they pull the bell to make sure he alive, he don't jump back. They drag him out and they send another one in, right? But watch this. What happens is when the wrong person goes in, it bends. Watch this. It increases. Watch. I'm already bent. Now I have a misperception. Now I start to be intimate with idols. So now, because watch this, because I'm a woman and a man violated me, because I'm not mature enough to understand what it is in the first place. So you violate me while I'm at 5, and I'm not mature enough to understand my body hasn't caught up with where my mind. Watch this, my mind isn't caught up to where my body is, where the person that violated me see that my body is, and his mind is twisted because he don't realize I'm 5 because he's been bent.
Correct.
Right.
There we go.
Right.
Absolutely.
So now what happens is you violate me, and now I see you. Watch this. I don't see you as a man anymore. I see you as a monster. So now, to me, what was supposed to be intimate, what's supposed to be worship,
right,
now it's nasty to me. So because there's a part of me that felt something that I couldn't even understand at that age. So now, since I'm bent, I don't want to look at this man because he's warped my mind to think that, okay, this ain't right. So I don't ever want to be with them again.
The sick heart.
The sick heart. The sick heart.
The sick mind. How does, because we say a lot of things, right? And I believe what we say, if we never understand it, we can never apply it and in turn
exactly.
Right? And then we always talk about the heart. We always talking about the mind. Yet I believe there's this disconnect between us fully understanding it. How does a sick heart look in daily life? And you just mentioned something powerful, right? That a violation occurs. The heart becomes sickened. Right? And it affects the person's perception on what should be authentic and innocent and loving and nurturing and caring, right? How does a sick heart impact our everyday life?
It impacts our everyday life simply because life won't flow. Watch this. The heart pumps about your heart, if it functions correctly, your natural heart will pump about 1 million gallons of blood over your lifetime. The same thing is important when your spiritual heart is sick, life can't flow properly. So now what happens is, because it's sick, if I continue to do things to enable it, that it doesn't become strong. If I continue to feed it things that are detrimental to it, how can it get strong? If I keep giving it information that is detrimental, how does it? It's almost like in the natural. You know, if you got heart disease, there's certain things you shouldn't eat because they're high in cholesterol.
Can you please say that again?
You know it. So if a person's heart is sick, if their spiritual heart is sick, then what you put in is what's going to come
out. Yes.
Because what you feed the most
how do you
win.
That's right. How do you change it? By feeding it the proper information.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
The proper revelation.
Yeah. But what if I am in an environment where dysfunction, abnormality, sickness, disease of the heart, of the mind is prevalent and it looks normal to me?
Right, that's your norm.
Like that, that's my norm. I grew up in a dysfunctional home. I grew up with my inclinations being right in my eyes. Right? How do I shift that perspective? How do I become healed if where I am, I don't think I'm sick.
Right.
Watch this. Do you know most of the time that people have heart attacks, they don't even know it? Yes. See, this whole thing that we're dealing with, why progressively becoming is here, why the place of exchange is here, is because the enemy is always trying to induce heart attacks.
Yes.
Right? So now, trust me, it's up to the individual to recognize the signs of when you're, because let me tell you something, just like your natural body will tell you when something is off, your spirit man will tell you that something is off.
You said spirit man. Explain. Because what if I haven't accepted Christ. I'm not Christian. Right. Am I then lost from receiving knocks on the door from the spirit man?
Listen, the reality is this: you have to be born again to get acknowledgement from the spirit man, because he has to dwell in you. And the only way he can dwell in you, you have to accept him. The Bible says, as many that are led by the Spirit, they're the sons of God. So you got to accept him. Yeah. And you got to allow him to come in and take residence. He's a gentleman. He ain't going to overpower you. He wants you to let him in the door. Correct. He'll not, but you got to let him in. So now, I mean, I'm not trying to be deep or anything, but you have to have a relationship. You have to know him so that you can get the indicators that are necessary. Yeah. Because if your mind is reprobate, it's already reprobate. You've been that way.
Reprobated mind. Yep.
Got it.
Listen, you're carnal. You're a part of this culture. You're not carnal, excuse me. You're a part of this culture. Carnality is for us, but you're a part of the culture. So you won't, even if you're sick, you don't think you're sick. Because you haven't tapped into the ability that God has created this. He's left on record the Holy Spirit for all of us to have access. Yeah. And that's the thing that straightens our hearts and straightens our minds.
Yeah. And I also firmly believe that even a person that has not accepted Christ, that God in his wisdom would draw. And he'll peck in, and he'll send people.
He'll call them.
Absolutely.
He'll call them.
Yeah.
But the only way that your heart is going to be regenerated.
That's it.
Hear me now. The only way your heart is going to be regenerated, the only way you're going to get a new heart, is you got to be willing to lay on the table. Yeah. You got to be willing to lay on the table. You got to say, listen, God, my heart is messed up and I need surgery.
Yeah. We just celebrated across this nation Valentine's Day.
Okay.
And love is in the air. Um, the heart is deceitful.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremiah says.
He says it. Can't be trusted.
What do we tell those individuals? Or what signs should we what signs can we tell individuals that are in relationships, intimate relationships, that should be warning signs that you should make an exit? Because what we feel could be one thing, but what is truth can be something else. Can we trust what we feel?
It's a fact that we feel, but our feelings aren't always factual.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think Paul tells us the components of love in 1 Corinthians chapter 13.
Mm-hmm.
But what I see today in the earth, what we call love, I believe is just control.
Explain, please. What's the controlling aspect of it?
That I know how to manipulate situations to elicit an emotion or a reaction from you.
That's good. Yeah.
So the only reason you do what you do is because you think you can't live without my manipulation. Love isn't control.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're being controlled, if you're being forced to do something, it's not love, it's control.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You've allowed somebody to basically put two batteries in your back, and they're remoting you.
Yeah. How do we break?
Because I think sometimes people that being controlled, they attribute that to love. Oh, they love me. When they take care of me because they tell me, but they telling you what to do, where to go, how to do it, how to dress, how to act. But they're providing like a roof, they're providing stability. So sometimes people miss the control aspect and just attribute that to they love me because they're doing some of the things that you would do if you loved me.
So, so if it's love, then what that means is it doesn't matter what I do, you should still continue doing what you do.
Correct.
Right? So now control means if you don't do it the way I want you to do it,
right,
then guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to take everything that I've been giving you, I'm taking it back. And now, and watch this. Watch this. Oh, God. I'm preaching to myself. It's about to get heavy, y'all. So now, because I can't have it the way I want it, now I'm going to ghost you. I'm going to block you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, in my warped mind, my bent mind,
yes.
I realized that I got here because of manipulation.
Manipulation, that's a good one.
So now, these are the tools of my trade. I'm going to ghost you. I'm going to make you think I'm watching and not respond.
You start putting on toes right there.
Listen, that's what we do. I'm going to guilt you. And then this is the most popular one. I'm going to blame you for it.
Yeah.
That's good right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to find some way to, watch this, I'm going to find some way to break my mirror and keep yours up. So you can see that you're the problem.
Right.
It's you. And what has happened, man, there isn't genuine love. Listen, Christ knew we were going to be bent. He knew we were going to be jacked up.
He knew it.
There.
Right.
He stayed there.
Yeah,
Listen, he had the power to come down.
Mm-hmm.
He stayed, bro. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what he was thinking? Well, watch this. Here's the crazy part. When you talk about environment, let's look at the environment he was in. Well, watch this. Listen, I'm getting ready to die for these people who I know gonna do what they want to do anyway. I know they still gonna make mistakes, and then they got the nerve to put me in between two thieves.
Yeah.
But guess what? I love them, so it doesn't matter what they do. I'ma die hoping that they realize who I am. Yeah. So I'm gonna die anyway. Real love means it doesn't matter what you do. My product doesn't change.
It does not matter what you do. My product does not change. Real love.
Listen, I'm Dr. Pepper. Jean can act crazy all she wanted. I'm not gonna turn into Coca-Cola or cheer wine. I'm Dr. Pepper.
Absolutely.
Product doesn't change. If I'm McDonald's, you can't listen. You make me mad. You think I'm gonna give you a Whopper? No. I'm McDonald's. And what we do, we allow things that happen to us to change our product, to change what we're supposed to give. Love. No, I can't let you change who I am.
Is that because of the condition of our hearts?
It's because of the condition of our hearts. And what has happened is we've let somebody get too close to our heart. Cause see, I believe this. When someone has the ability to get a reaction out of you,
talk about it.
To your heart.
You mentioned earlier about guarding your heart. Again, we say it, yet we don't practically.
I need an E-flat. Right.
We don't practically break that down. What does it mean to guard your heart?
That means I have to intentionally open the door to what I want to go in and kick out what I want to get out. That's why I don't let people's actions get in my heart. Yeah. Because eventually it'll change the way I feel towards them. And now, watch this. Now my Dr. Pepper is flat.
Absolutely.
Because now I don't start putting water in it because you made me feel some kind of way. So I don't think you deserve the true thing. But see, if I keep my heart the way it's supposed to, my authenticity, my pure love will eventually affect you.
Okay.
And help you realize
that you
know what? Come on. Listen, I'm telling you, y'all, I'm telling you, a lot of people just think I'm super. No, I know that I know what I want to see in my life.
Correct.
And I know it's a direct reflection of my heart.
Correct. But you have to be intentional about that. That requires intentionality for you to allow in and remove and black out. And then most of all, check the condition of your heart. And I think a lot of people don't put the responsibility that they have to themselves, and rather and rather blame others for the condition of their heart, and not taking responsibility for the condition of their heart themselves. It's easy to say, I'm like this because you did this to me, and I feel like this because of what you did, and I think like this because of what you did to me. It's like, at what point do we take responsibility to say, well, wait a minute, I allowed that emotion to affect me. I allowed that betrayal to impact me.
Watch this. Not only did I allow it, but I made a choice to.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It was a choice. See, we always want to blame people, but we have the power of choice.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And if you keep your see, watch this. That you see when you understand the importance of your heart, then you'll know how to exercise it with discipline.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's good.
Absolutely.
Our hearts are flabby because
That's
we don't.
good, Bishop. That's good.
We don't exercise it. You discipline your heart. Let watch this. Can I say this? This is how you discipline your heart. There are four ways you discipline your heart. You got to have gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what's happening around you, be grateful.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could be dead.
Exactly. Yep. That's what I say.
Absolutely.
Grateful.
So I'm grateful for everything that has happened to me. Well, no, let me say it this way. When you change your perception, see a lot of how you guard your heart is how you perceive things. Mm-hmm. So now I don't say things happen to me. I say they happen for me. Because they teach me how to guard my heart.
Things did not. Say that again, please. If people could ever understand that,
it happened for me.
It changes your perspective.
Exactly, perspective and perception.
Absolutely.
They're important. So you got to have gratitude. You got to have hope. These are the disciplines of your heart. Hope. Then watch this. Watch this. This is the one that keeps us bound most of the time while we want to stay bent. Forgiveness.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's right, Bishop. Talk about it.
That's a word, man.
Forgiveness.
It's true.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
When you hold people in your heart doesn't have the capacity to carry the weight of people.
Mm-hmm. Bishop, the forgiveness aspect is really difficult. And like you could be in a position where you say, okay, I forgive you, I've forgiven that person. And then they'll do something else. And it's just like, it just takes you back into, oh my God, I'm mad again. And I'm, upset and I'm hurt. And then it's just like, then they'll do something again. And it just feels like every time I feel like I'm forgiving you or I'm releasing that, then it's something else you'll do. And it'll just take me back again.
In actuality, again, like I said, you have that person in the wrong place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're too close to your heart.
Mm-hmm.
If their actions cause you to react and not respond, they're too close to your heart.
Absolutely.
See, the problem with us is we have people misplaced.
I agree.
Listen, let me say something. How do you let me use this analogy? Would you right now put another woman in you and Mel's bedroom?
Oh, absolutely not.
Why not?
Because he's fine. He belong to me.
Watch the choir back there. Listen, watch this.
That's my girl.
Because that room is for two people.
Right.
Not three.
Right.
Well, no. Now watch this. If we look in the confines of this covenant, we look in the confines, okay, certain things, and watch this. You can't allow people in that space. If you do, they're misplaced. So they have the ability to affect your intimacy. It's the same way in what you're talking about now. If they can affect you that way, you have them in a room or in an area that is an intimate area that they're not designed to be in. So put them in the right room.
Absolutely.
That's good.
So that tells me that you really haven't forgiven them because you haven't put them in the right place.
Wow.
Misplacement, watch this. Misplacement will always be the gauge of whether you truly forgive.
That's good. Okay, that's good.
The placement of that person, where you put them. That means now we got to get out of this theology. Well, I'm gonna cut them off. Would Jesus do that?
What would Jesus do? Talk it, sir.
Oh, I love your little bracelet now. Would Jesus do that?
Absolutely.
So now we just got to put them in the right place. And perspective tells me, let me tell you why I can't cut you off. Because I believe in restitution. Oh, you're going to take care of me. You got to come back and bless me. Because I kept my heart pure towards you. Absolutely. I kept my motives pure towards you. I forgave you. And then the last discipline is love. Oh, God. Love, a word that comes and goes. But people really know what love. That means unconditional. Right. I'm telling you, that's why when you know who you are,
absolutely,
you know who you are, you know the things that you can't let in your heart.
Right.
And let me tell you why the people that you say it's hard to forgive, why you can't forgive them.
mm-hmm.
Because they know the triggers. Because think about this. Most of the people we don't forgive is simply because sometimes they remind us of us. And so when they do things subconsciously, we say, you know what? When I was doing that myself, I wanted to tell myself off. How stupid would I look talking to myself in the mirror? Like, oh, you could have done that, Willie. So, because it's natural for me, I can tell you this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm angry and I can't let you go because you did something that I identify with.
Mm-hmm.
And because I couldn't discipline myself when I did it, let me get you straight.
Absolutely. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm telling you, you gotta love blind. What that means is, yeah, you could do some things and I have to move a certain way, but it shouldn't change my product. Here we go again. My product. That's what I got to do. So, and that's what it is. As I begin to meditate and think about this, and I know we don't have much time, I'm gonna say this, but I begin to meditate and think about this. Right here's what God began to deal with me. It's crazy. Like the heart, the H is health. You got to guard your heart, and you got to realize it's your spiritual heart. It helps with the diagnosis of your spiritual health.
Absolutely. Yes.
The E is for emotions.
That's a tricky fella there. Absolutely.
Your heart will always speak how you manage and control your emotions.
That's true.
I agree.
That's true.
And allowing our emotions to manage our lives, it results in poor decisions and some crazy reactions to what happens in our lives.
Our crazy reactions is because we allowed our emotions to manage our lives.
When I guard my heart, I can control my emotions.
Wow. I'm just wondering how many people on is watching us that's just like, wow, could it be I'm in this place now, I'm dealing with this because of my emotions led me here.
Right.
Oh, definitely.
And now
Those
I'm
jokers
dealing
will
with
read
this.
you. The A mail, here's another part of the HEA. The A is for attitude. Our attitude is an essential part for guarding our heart.
It's true.
Listen, nasty, negative people have bad hearts.
It's true.
And you have to let nasty, negative people go out of your life.
Hello. Listen. Send them to God's heavenly ER so he can transform them, because nasty, negative people will become a virus in your life and mess up your attitude. And it is so true. It's cliches, but it's so true. Your attitude oftentimes will determine your altitude.
Absolutely. Correct. Yeah.
So the R is for response.
Somebody's attitude could shift the whole
Absolutely
thing.
Listen, I'm telling you, you know that person when they walk through the door of the church,
It's
like,
true.
God, yeah, what in the world?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's people and people. If you're not strong enough, people will take you there and will elicit an emotion out of you that at the core does not belong to you.
Exactly. But see, what happens is that guard that I had in my heart,
absolutely,
he looked the other way, and that emotion snuck in.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's the guard.
It's the guard.
Absolutely.
It's the guard. And so because of my attitude, I got to make sure I keep my attitude right no matter what I'm facing. And the R mail is for response. Whether you're responding to your boss, your wife, your coworker, I can tell what your heart is like by your response.
Absolutely.
Whether it's a response or a reaction, I can tell how your heart.
Yeah.
I can tell what your heart is here.
Absolutely. It's something me and you always say when we talk, how we often just let people talk. And what they say will reveal their heart.
Listen. Let me say this. This is so funny, right? You know, one of the things that I majored in. I know we have time. One of the things I won't say I majored in. I was graced by God to learn a lot about when I was in the military was psychological warfare and how to be in the midst of a war zone, right? Mm-hmm. And look willy-nilly like you don't have a clue what's going on, right? And that, like you and I say, I love for people to think I'm naive.
Absolutely.
I love it. You know, when I walk in a room, listen, I know there are people, and hear me, I hope most of y'all watching too. I know there are people, that sit around and be like, oh, this guy, he's crazy. When he comes in the room, he just all over the place. No, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you insight, and there's nothing you can do to control who you are because I don't think you discipline your heart enough that you can change it. So here's what I'm going to say. Mm-hmm. I do that because I know eventually you're going to reveal to me who you are. Mm-hmm. And once I find out who you are, I know how to move so that I can either help you or help you get to a place where you can get help. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can help you. So I once you talk, you reveal to me who you are.
You reveal your heart.
I can help you, or I can get you to a place of help. Because at the core, it's all about love.
It's all about love. Because I love you enough that it doesn't matter how you think that I'm crazy.
That's it.
Doesn't matter what you feel about me.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I know that if I'm in your life in this season of your life, there's a role that I play to either help you or help you get help.
Absolutely.
See, that's the problem with the church now. We want to make this about us. You do have a role in this. It's either to help or to help somebody get help. Mm-hmm. I don't watch this. Progressively Becoming is doing great things in the earth. God is using you. I don't go around and say, well, listen, Mel, I told Mel he needed to start over Progressively Becoming. So really, it was me.
Mm-hmm, right. Mm-hmm,
mm-hmm. No. The problem with the church is we got to be content with our roles.
That's good.
God didn't call me to start Progressively Becoming. He called you to start it.
Yeah.
But if my heart is in the right posture with you, every opportunity I get is my job to empower you and help you because I love you.
Absolutely.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what you do. See, which brings you back to the prodigal son.
Absolutely.
Listen.
Absolutely.
Doesn't matter what you do. The father will always sit on the porch.
Absolutely. Correct. Mm-hmm.
Because you know what, I really want to throw you a party because I know this ain't you.
Correct.
I know you coming back, and I want to celebrate you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All that stuff comes from love, and it ends with this T, and we going thoughts. They can be helpful or hurtful. That's why we got to guard our heart, because your thought life determines your reality. Your thought life determines your real life. Your heart, you can't let this stuff. That's why Paul said the weapons of our warfare aren't carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds, the casting down of imagination, arguments, anything that exalts itself against.
Yes.
What I know.
Mm-hmm. Knowledge.
Correct. Knowledge. What I know.
Correct.
So even with this, God has strategically planted you right here for this moment. Mm-hmm. Keep your heart clean. Guard it above all else. Because remember, that's how he attacks.
Absolutely.
Everything that comes from your heart, from the things that flow through your heart. I feel something. The things that flow through your heart, like Progressively Becoming, flows through your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Morning devotion flows through your heart. The outcome of them, watch this. If your heart isn't right, it won't filter the right thing when it comes out.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why progressively coming is effective. That's why morning devotions are effective.
Correct.
That's why the discipleship will be effective.
Correct.
But if your heart, keep that heart clean, because I promise you, everything that comes through that heart, see, your heart has to pump it out at a certain velocity for it to go to where it needs to go.
Absolutely.
But if your heart is not clean, if your heart is not pure, it's going to be a struggle with what comes out. Guard your heart above all else. Out of it flows the issues of your heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, I am excited about what God is doing. I thank y'all for having me. A little old guy like me.
Oh, please, sir.
He knows. And for the record, I got some deeds, y'all.
Bishop Willie Jones Jr., we appreciate you so much.
Thank you,
wow,
man.
this was necessary.
Absolutely.
And again, it's the practicality of taking something that sounds deep and yet breaking it down so all of us could understand it and apply it to your lives. And I'll say this, and we're going. If something that Bishop said tonight did not hit you to your core, then you need to check your heart. because all of us, I'm sure, felt some level of conviction, and that is a good thing.
Definitely.
That we experienced that, right? Bishop, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
I appreciate y'all. Thank you for having me.
So we greatly appreciate you, fam. Once again, thank you so much for
Bishop.
PB. Absolutely amazing.
Yes, thank you, Bishop.
I love you, Kiki. I'm going to send Regina to you in a little bit. She's going to be on the
Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate you. This was great. I've learned some things as well. So, no, but thank you. We'll be having you again, Bishop.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll definitely be having you again.
I'm honored. I love y'all. I really, really appreciate. I thank God for bringing y'all into my lives and that wholeheartedly. I don't believe that God just places people in my life. I believe He plants them there. Yeah. So I'm grateful to God. I love you. I love you guys wholeheartedly.
Love you too, sir. Enjoy your time away. Enjoy your time away, sir.
Listen, I'm going to try my best.
Thank you so much, family. Listen, morning devotions, Thursday, 6 a.m. Meet us there. We want to pray with you and for you. Once again, from Lakeisha and I, thank you so much for joining. Meet us next Tuesday, 7 p.m.
Yes, don't forget, Thursday morning devotion, we're going to have Elder Olivia Cunningham, so make sure that you are on with us 6 a.m. for morning devotion. Bring someone, tag someone, let someone know that she will be on as well. And we'll see you then. So till then, y'all have a great night. We love you.
Take care, guys.